So, what if I told you that the person you think is just a matchmaker for trucks is actually a high-stakes risk manager? Someone making decisions that can literally save or sink a company. It's really easy to see a freight broker as just a voice on the phone, but that's kind of like saying a bomb disposal expert just snips wires. We're about to peel back the layers and uncover the real mandate of a professional freight broker. And that's the big question, isn't it? It's a question that's worth millions upon millions of dollars every single day. Because when a customer's precious cargo is on the line, the broker's decisions, their foresight, and their diligence, well, that's pretty much the only thing standing between a smooth delivery and a total, complete disaster. And right here, this is the fundamental shift in thinking we have to make. The myth? A simple matchmaker. The reality? A highly specialized risk manager. See, they don't own the truck. They don't own the freight. But you know what they do own? They own the process. They are responsible for the decisions, the information, and the compliance that governs that entire journey. I like to think of a broker as the air traffic controller for the highways. Seriously, they're the central coordinator, keeping all the different pieces moving in harmony. They're the risk manager, always thinking ahead, trying to mitigate what could go wrong. They are the compliance gatekeeper, making sure every single carrier is legitimate and insured. And they're the documentation controller, managing that paper trail that protects everyone involved. Okay, so at the absolute heart of their role, underpinning everything else they do is one critical responsibility: due diligence. And look, this isn't just another task on a to-do list. This is the broker's fundamental license to operate in this industry. So what exactly is due diligence? Well, it's the non-negotiable, proactive process of checking everything about a carrier. We're talking their legal authority, their insurance, their safety record. And all of this has to happen before they are ever trusted with a customer's shipment. There are absolutely no shortcuts here. Because let me tell you, the consequences of getting this wrong are catastrophic. We're not talking about small mistakes. We're talking about $100,000 cargo claims, crippling legal battles, the irreversible loss of customer trust, and yeah, landing directly in the crosshairs of federal regulators. The stakes are just immense. So how does this all play out in the real world? Come on, let's follow a single shipment from the broker's point of view and see exactly how a professional navigates this journey, from the very first call all the way to that final invoice. It all starts before the truck even moves an inch. You know, this first phase is where the pros prevent nearly every potential problem down the road. First, you confirm every single detail of the load, no assumptions allowed. Second, you select a carrier that has already passed all your tough due diligence checks. And third, you issue a crystal clear rate confirmation. Rule of thumb, if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist, period. All right, once that truck is rolling, the broker basically becomes the central communication hub for everybody. Their job is to maintain constant visibility, to provide accurate ETAs, and, this is super important, to report any delays the second they learn about them. And all the while, they're documenting every single call, every update, every change. The work isn't finished just because the truck is parked. Nope. The broker has to confirm the delivery is complete and correct. They have to immediately get their hands on the proof of delivery, or POD. That's the key legal document. They manage the entire invoicing process. And hey, if any disputes pop up, all that meticulous documentation from phase 2, that's now their ironclad defense. Now that we've walked through the professional's playbook, let's kind of look at the flip side, the anatomy of failure. Where do things most often fall apart? The number one killer of a broker's reputation: rushing. It's so easy to feel the pressure to cover a load, and that creates a huge temptation to cut corners. But skipping that full verification process, man, that's like playing Russian roulette with your client's $500,000 shipment. The second fatal flaw is relying on a verbal promise. You gotta understand, in the high-stakes world of freight, a handshake deal or a quick phone call agreement is worth absolutely nothing when a dispute arises. I'll say it again, if it's not in writing, it pretty much never happened. And the third common failure is just not documenting problems the moment they occur. See, when a delay isn't recorded with a timestamp and a clear reason, the broker has zero leverage, zero proof, and zero protection when the inevitable blame game begins. So, how do you avoid these massive pitfalls? It's not just about following some checklist. It's really about adopting a professional mindset, a playbook designed not just to move freight, but to build a lasting reputation and a sustainable business. You know, this professional code is often defined by what you refuse to do. You just don't overpromise. You don't ignore compliance for a quick buck. You have absolutely zero tolerance for shady practices like double brokering. And you never, ever leave a critical issue undocumented. At the end of the day, it's pretty simple. A broker's reputation is built on three things: consistency, reliability, and accountability. That's their most valuable asset. And it's earned one successful, meticulously managed load at a time. So the next time you see a big rig on the highway, just remember the invisible force that's guiding it. The real work isn't just about horsepower and asphalt. It's about the expert management of risk and information that makes sure that truck and all its valuable cargo arrives safely. It leaves you with one last thought to chew on. In a global supply chain that's defined by constant, chaotic movement, the ultimate power, well, it doesn't always belong to the person with the keys to the truck. It belongs to the person who truly controls the risk. And that is the modern freight broker's mandate.